Every year, millions of people over the age of 60 face the risk of stroke or heart attack, diseases that can dramatically change lives. But what if I told you that you could reduce this risk by several times with just a few simple steps? It's possible, and these steps could be crucial for your health. Did you know that stroke and heart attack remain the leading causes of death among people over 60? Surprising number. In fact, many of us think age is the main factor, but in reality, habits, diet, and lifestyle play a much more significant role. What do you think might speed up the process? Simply ignoring small signals from your body can be dangerous. For example, if you notice a mild headache or swelling, this could be the first warning sign. Yes, you're reading it right. Lifestyle is the key factor. We often underestimate the habits that accumulate over the years. For example, poor diet high in salt and sugar, as well as lack of physical activity. This health destroyer is something many people don't think about. Let's talk about how your daily routine affects the condition of your vessels and heart. Problems can begin completely unnoticed until one day it may seem too late. If you have high blood pressure or elevated cholesterol levels, you're at risk. Even if you feel fine, there are processes happening inside your body that can damage your vessels. This invisible enemy can be controlled if you take tests in time and don't ignore the symptoms. Many people don't know that elevated cholesterol and blood pressure can be reduced without medication, simply by making changes in diet and lifestyle. But what exactly should you do? The answer is in the next part. At first glance, heart and vessel problems seem distant and only apply to those who lead an unhealthy lifestyle. But do you know that even those who have followed healthy habits for years can face this disease due to heredity or hidden factors? Each of us is at risk, and it's important to realize that prevention is not just a step, but daily work. For example, stress can be just as dangerous as poor nutrition, and many of us don't even notice how it accumulates in our bodies. As we age, our vessels lose elasticity, and the heart doesn't function as efficiently as it used to. These are natural aging processes. But what if I told you that this process can be slowed down if you start taking care of your health before age begins to show its effects? Every minute that we ignore our body can be decisive. Have you ever wondered how many changes are happening in your body that you don't even notice until it's too late? So, how do you recognize that your body is sending alarming signals? It could be fatigue, headaches, breathing issues, swelling, or even symptomless increased blood pressure. Even mild symptoms could be a sign that your body is under stress. Let's break down what to look out for and what actions you can take to prevent serious illnesses in the future. The answers will be in the next section. Many of us delay a visit to the doctor, hoping that everything will resolve on its own. But did you know that early diagnosis can prevent serious heart and vessel problems? For example, studies show that if you start monitoring your health at the age of 60, you can significantly reduce the risk of stroke or heart attack. What exactly should the doctor check, and how often should you undergo examinations? These are important questions that we will answer in the next chapter. Nutrition is the main risk factor for the heart. What is the danger of foods high in saturated fats, salt, and sugar? And how does this relate to the condition of your vessels? We have already talked about the harm of cholesterol and blood pressure, but it's the food that can be the breaking point that triggers the disease. But there's good news. You can learn to eat in a way that supports health and slows down the aging process of the heart. In the next section, we will talk about the best foods that will help protect your heart. After 60, health requires special attention. But what habits can significantly reduce the risk of stroke or heart attack? Have you ever thought about how age and your body interact at this stage of life? The answers to these questions will be revealed in the conclusion of this chapter, as well as in the next part of the video, where we will discuss simple ways to prevent heart disease that you can implement today. Now that we've explored the importance of regular checkups and paying attention to the signals from your body, let's focus on how you can actively support your heart health. One of the key elements in protecting yourself from stroke and heart attack is proper nutrition. We've already understood how vital it is to detect potential problems in time. But what's next? How do you choose foods that help strengthen your heart and reduce risks? In the next chapter, we will explain in detail how your diet can become a true barrier against cardiovascular diseases. Have you ever thought about how what you eat can determine your future? Your heart's health is directly linked to what you put on your plate every day. Many of us don't realize how significant an impact our eating habits have on our heart. But what exactly in our diet creates risk for our vessels, and how can we avoid this? Understanding this connection is the first step toward longevity and a healthy heart. Have you still not chosen the right foods? Stay with us to learn which foods can really protect your heart. Did you know that cholesterol is not only bad, but also good? Yes, that's right. Bad cholesterol is the one that builds up on the walls of blood vessels and creates plaques, narrowing them. But there is also good cholesterol, which helps clean the vessels. To maintain the right balance, you need to choose foods that will help increase the level of good cholesterol and reduce the level of bad cholesterol. How can you do this with the right foods? You will find out in this section. Nuts are true superfoods that should be part of your diet if you want to reduce the risk of heart diseases. They contain healthy fats that help cleanse the vessels and maintain normal cholesterol levels. But here's an important note. Not all nuts are equally beneficial. Some can be harmful to your heart if consumed too often. Which nuts are ideal for your diet, and which ones should you avoid? The secrets are in the next section. One of the most powerful allies in the fight for heart health is fish, especially fatty varieties like salmon, mackerel, and herring. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation in the body and help maintain vessel health. But how much fish should you eat per week to get the maximum benefit? And which types of fish should you choose to avoid excessive levels of harmful substances? We'll reveal all of this in this section. When was the last time you ate fresh, leafy vegetables? They are indispensable helpers for maintaining heart health. Leafy greens, spinach, broccoli, and cabbage are rich in vitamins and minerals that help keep blood vessels in excellent condition. But which of these vegetables is especially important for your heart, and why? The answers to this question will be explored in the next subchapter. Maybe you've already heard that too much salt and sugar in the diet can contribute to high blood pressure and the development of cardiovascular diseases. But what exactly happens in the body when we consume too much of these ingredients? And how do they affect the development of plaques in the vessels? In this subchapter, we will take a closer look at how salt and sugar can be your enemies, and what to do to avoid their harmful effects. Most importantly, we will show you how to replace them with safe alternatives. Water is the most important element in our diet, and often we underestimate its significance. But it's crucial to understand that a lack of water can affect the function of the heart and vessels. Dehydration causes blood to thicken, which increases the load on the heart. How should you drink water properly? How much water should a person over 60 drink to normalize pressure and maintain heart health? We'll tell you how to properly organize your water balance. Heart problems can be caused not only by what we eat, but also by what we avoid. Products high in saturated fats, trans fats, and preservatives can severely damage blood vessels and accelerate the development of heart diseases. Now that we've learned which foods can become your allies in the fight for heart health, it's essential not to forget about another key element: physical activity. Proper nutrition is the foundation, but without movement, our bodies won't work efficiently. How can you maintain heart health with exercise? In the next chapter, we will discuss which types of activities are most beneficial for your heart and vessels, especially after the age of 60. We all know that as we age, it becomes harder to stay active, and a sedentary lifestyle becomes a habit. But have you ever thought about how the lack of movement is one of the main factors contributing to the development of heart attack and stroke? After 60, your heart and vessels need regular activity to function properly. However, it's important to understand that even small but regular physical exercises can significantly reduce the risks of cardiovascular diseases. Why is activity not just beneficial but vital? Find out in the next section. What do you think happens to your heart when you start moving regularly? The process is simple. Movement improves blood circulation, strengthens the heart muscle, helps lower blood pressure, and normalizes cholesterol levels. Even simple activities like walking or swimming can work wonders for your health. But what exactly in exercise helps prevent the development of stroke and heart attack? Why is it so important to start moving now rather than waiting for better times? The answers to these questions are in this section. What suits you best? Running, yoga, swimming, or walks in the fresh air? It's not so much the type of activity that matters, but the consistency and approach to choosing exercises. When selecting physical activity, it's important to consider not only your health condition, but also your level of physical fitness. But which types of activities will provide maximum benefits for your heart? We'll tell you which workouts will help strengthen your cardiovascular system and reduce the risk of stroke and heart attack. Find out what to choose depending on your level of activity and health. The most accessible and simple way to maintain activity is walking outdoors. But did you know that regular walks can reduce the risk of heart disease by 30%? When we walk, our body actively clears toxins, normalizes blood pressure, and improves blood and oxygen circulation. And that's just the beginning. Walking not only helps maintain heart health, but also reduces stress, which is also an important factor in preventing stroke and heart attack. But how does walking impact your health, and how should you organize your daily walks? You'll find out next. Many people forget the importance of stretching for heart health, but they shouldn't. Stretching exercises help improve flexibility and blood circulation, which is important for maintaining the elasticity of blood vessels. As we age, blood vessels lose their flexibility, which can lead to higher blood pressure and increased strain on the heart. Regular stretching helps prevent this by improving blood flow and reducing the stiffness of the vessels. But which specific exercises can bring the most benefit to your vessels? The secrets are in the next section. Many people mistakenly believe that strength training is only for young and fit individuals, but that's far from the truth. Strength exercises help strengthen the heart muscle, increase circulation, and activate metabolism. For older people, these workouts not only help strengthen the heart, but also improve overall physical endurance, posture, and prevent muscle mass loss, which is especially important in older age. But how should you start strength training? And which exercises will be the safest and most effective for your heart? Swimming is one of the gentlest and most effective types of physical activity for people over 60. This form of exercise helps reduce strain on the joints while actively training the heart, improving circulation, and boosting endurance. It's much easier to perform exercises in the water, reducing the risk of injury. Do you think yoga is just for the young? That's a mistake. Yoga and meditation are powerful tools for strengthening the heart and vessels at any age. These practices help reduce stress, which in turn reduces the load on the heart. Yoga exercises improve flexibility, breathing function, stimulate circulation, and strengthen the heart muscle. Did you know that you can start physical activity without leaving your home? Simple and effective exercises like stretching, squats, walking around the house, or even dancing to your favorite music can significantly improve your health. Now that we've covered how physical activity can significantly improve your heart health, let's talk about the importance of regular medical checkups. While exercise and proper nutrition play a huge role, it's important to remember that periodic checkups help detect hidden problems in time and prevent the development of serious diseases. In the next chapter, we'll discuss which tests and exams you should undergo to keep your heart in excellent shape and reduce the risks of stroke and heart attack. Did you know that many cardiovascular diseases can be prevented if diagnosed and treated at early stages? Many people over 60 feel fine and don't see a doctor, thinking everything is okay. However, it is precisely at this age that the risks of heart attack and stroke increase several times, even if everything seems normal at first glance. The problem is that cardiovascular symptoms don't always show up immediately. This is a dangerous trap. The importance of regular checkups should not be underestimated. So, which examinations and tests can help protect your heart and vessels from potential threats? Read on to learn how they can save your life. Early detection of a disease always increases the chances of successful treatment. How can you tell if your health is in good shape or if there's reason for concern? In this section, we will discuss the most important tests and exams you need to undergo. These are not just cholesterol or blood pressure tests, but more specific tests that can help prevent stroke and heart attack. For example, an electrocardiogram, ECG, and echocardiography, ECHO, can reveal hidden heart problems. But what else is important to check? Stay tuned. When was the last time you had a blood test? This is the basic test that can reveal a lot about your health. High cholesterol levels, low hemoglobin, or elevated sugar levels, all of these could signal cardiovascular issues. A lipid profile blood test helps assess how vulnerable your vessels are to blockage, as well as how well your body can fight inflammation. How to interpret the results and what to do if they are not normal. We'll uncover the secrets. ECG is not just a check of your heart rhythm. It's a test that can uncover many hidden problems, such as coronary artery disease, arrhythmias, and even early signs of a heart attack. It's important to understand that frequent headaches, fatigue, and even dizziness can be related to heart issues detected on an ECG. But how often should you get an ECG after 60? What factors can affect its results? Find out in the next section. Heart ultrasound is another important diagnostic method that helps identify heart valve diseases, heart failure, defects, and many other pathologies. This method also helps the doctor see how blood circulates through the arteries and whether they are at risk of blockages. But why should you undergo an ultrasound if you have no visible symptoms? The answer is simple. At 60, your heart requires special attention. The most important aspect of health monitoring is regularity. Undergoing tests once is not enough. You need to track all changes happening in your body. It's helpful to create a health map that tracks all the information about your exams, tests, and doctor's recommendations. How does this work? Imagine recording every doctor visit, all the test results, and notes you might otherwise miss. The importance of this approach lies in the fact that you will be able to notice any changes in your health in time and consult a doctor sooner without waiting for serious symptoms. Hypertension is one of the most dangerous factors contributing to stroke and heart attack, and at 60 plus, it often goes unnoticed. Blood pressure control is not just about blood tests, it's regular blood pressure measurements at home and visits to the doctor for checks. Ultrasound of the vessels is another important diagnostic method that helps determine how healthy your arteries and venous system are. This test identifies even the earliest signs of atherosclerosis and other vascular diseases that could lead to a heart attack. Sometimes heart problems do not manifest as obvious symptoms, but it's at this moment that it's crucial to seek medical help on time. How often do you undergo checkups? Leave a comment about which tests helped you detect problems at an early stage. This may be useful for everyone who cares about their health. Don't put off your health for later. Regular checkups and paying attention to your condition can not only prevent a stroke or heart attack, but also help you live a long and active life. Share this video with your loved ones and friends so that everyone knows how important it is to monitor their health, especially after the age of 60.